Right, it must be time for Unit 10. Let's start the new unit. Right, let's look at page 96, and Unit 10 is all about the media, newspapers, magazines, TV and film, and online media. So let's start with number 1. It says work in pairs, but have a think about the answer to these questions. I'll give you the answers in a moment, but look at the infographic, and I want you to find the answers to questions 1 to 9. I'm going to go through them and then put the answers up in a moment. So, what kind of people read the most popular magazine in the USA? 2. How much time do teenagers spend in front of a screen? 3. How much of our online time is spent on social media? That doesn't include at this moment, and the information is a little bit old anyway. Number 4, what has happened to entertainment news in newspapers? Number 5, who is most likely to watch a horror film? Number 6, how much video is uploaded or downloaded every minute? And it says be careful because you need to do a quite simple calculation. Number 7, which kind of newspaper? We've got 2 kinds, the big ones and the little ones, we can say, is most popular in the UK. You'll see the names for them, and you might want to look those up. Just Google it. Which sort of programs are probably the most popular in India? And finally, what sort of website is Twitter? What do we call it? Okay. Right, I'm going to put up the answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now looking at the bottom of the page, part 4B, yeah, we can't have a discussion about this, can we? But newspaper circulation is falling. They're selling fewer newspapers because people look at the online version and they're free. So, of course, that means that these things are paid for by online advertising where you need to click. And that means that more newspapers are using what we call clickbait. You need to look that one up. CLICKBAIT. Bait is normally what a fisherman puts on the end of the hook to try to catch the fish, and it's what the Daily Mail does when they want to show you somebody whose dress doesn't cover all of their body, if you know what I mean. So yeah, clickbait, try to get people to click on an article just so that the advertisers see that more people are reading an article. I'm not encouraging you to look at the Daily Mail, but that's one example. Right, what do you think is the most popular magazine in your country and why? They tend to be ones that report about things like the royal family or have puzzles or things like that in lots of countries. I wonder if that's the same for yours. How much screen time do you get on an average day? Don't answer that one at the moment. How much of that is spent on social media? Is Facebook a good thing or a bad thing? Maybe you could write your experiences down in a piece of writing for me. Do you like or dislike product placement? That's, for example, when you see a Hollywood film and you see a big advertisement for Pepsi or UPS, or what was the one with Tom Hanks in Castaway? FedEx, wasn't it? Have you uploaded any videos to the internet? I know I have. There's one coming now. If yes, what were they? Yeah, this is my first time uploading things to YouTube. And do you think digital will ever completely replace print? Why or why not? At the moment, the same people are reading more real books, but I would struggle to say the last time I bought a real newspaper. Okay, have a think about those ones. Maybe you can produce some writing, okay?
Unit 10, Recording 1.
And now it's time for Quiz the Expert. Our expert this week is Monica Jessup. Monica will be familiar to some of our listeners. She has worked at a number of top UK universities. Good to have you on the programme, Monica.
Thanks, Doug.
So, Monica, our first question comes from a caller in South Wales. Hello, Ewan?
Yes, hello.
What's your question for our expert, Ewan?
OK, well,
A question I've always wanted to ask is, who actually controls the media?
Well, Ewan, the simple answer is it depends. In some countries, the government controls the media. In other countries, it's private individuals or companies who own it. What we call mass media nowadays also includes the internet. And you could argue that we all own that because we can all set up a website. However, there are certainly some very large media corporations that own and control a lot of what we see and hear. In the US around 25 years ago, there were 50 major media corporations. Now there are just 6.
Does that answer your question, Ewan?
Yes, I think it does. Thanks.
Great stuff. Now on to Fred from Bristol.
Thanks, Doug. Monica, I'm interested in your opinion. Does the media reflect what we think, or does the media control what we think? I mean, do we just think about the things that the media wants us to think about?
The eternal question, Fred. It used to be said that the most powerful person in the country was the newspaper editor, because he, and it always was a he, decided what went on the front page, and so decided what was important and what wasn't. However, the internet has had an impact. Now anyone can create news. With the camera in our smartphones, we can record a high-definition video of an event, upload it to the internet, and hey presto, people all over the world can see. Big media corporations are being cut out. Sites like globalvoicesonline.org are bringing the news directly from the people who are experiencing it, inside war zones, for example. So, in answer to your question, while the media does still control what we think to some extent, people are now able to use the media to reflect what they think.
That's a fascinating idea. I must check it out. Thanks for that question, Fred. Now we have Damien in Leeds. Hi, Damien. What's your question?
Oh, yes. You mentioned how the internet has changed news, Monica. How else has the internet changed things? How has it affected the world of media?
Well, of course, it's introduced a lot of new words to our language. Who had heard of microblogging before the internet? But more importantly, I believe the internet has made media more interactive. Media used to be a one-way process. They spoke and we listened. Now it's much more like a dialogue. Every article has reader comments below it. Every concert is reviewed and discussed on Twitter. Unfortunately, I think the internet has also made us all more separate from each other. We're all watching and listening to different things. Young adults now probably don't even remember the time when everyone watched the same thing on television and then talked about it the next day at work or college. In 1986, the top-rated TV show in the UK got 30 million viewers. That's half the population. 25 years later, the top-rated show got less than half that number. As a society, we just don't share the same experiences anymore. We watch and listen to different things.
OK, thanks, Monica. And thanks, Damien, for that question. We've only got time for one more question, I think, which is from Lisa in Edinburgh.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, Lisa. What's your question?
Well, you mentioned newspapers earlier. They're having a hard time of things. Will we still read newspapers in the future?
Most countries have seen a drop in newspaper circulation in the last few years, particularly broadsheets. They're finding it much harder to survive and many have gone out of business. It's not just the loss of readers that is a problem. In the US, newspapers make almost 90% of their money from advertising. When circulation drops, fewer people want to advertise in the newspaper, and they won't pay as much to advertise.
OK, thanks, Monica. Fascinating as always to talk to you, and thanks for taking part in Quiz the Expert. Now it's time for travel news. Gary,